What's going on, guys? Welcome to this episode of Shooting from the Hip. It's episode 1. I'm here with NOPAL. What's up, NOPAL? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, George? Just chilling right here, man. Just got done getting off the grill. I had an hour to do it, and I sort of messed up because I didn't put enough
Uh-oh.
charcoal,
Oh,
but
shit.
it came out all right.
Hey, it happens sometimes. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, like I said, man, we got special guests from the Chile crew here in NOPAL. This was kind of spur of the moment. And I'm like I said, this came from the top of my head. I'm calling this shoot from the hip. That's what you do. Quick draw, shooting from the hip. So, it's going to be a little off topic. Usually what you hear from both of us, a little MMA stuff. And only because, well, I mean, if you watch a little bit of MMA, you have Nate Diaz, Mr. Sacktown himself, fighting against Tony Ferguson. And if those are who kind of follow the MMA or UFC, this fight has been in the making for like the last 5 years or so. And it's finally being made because of whatever the hell happened behind closed doors. You had one of the guys from the main event did not make weight. So now you have these two guys fighting. What do you know about this, Nopal? What do you know about the MMA besides Mr. Nate Diaz?
So, as in regards to that, it's a very interesting situation because, the guy, Nate Diaz, he's from my hometown, 209, shouts out to the familia over here. Y'all know what that is. In regards to that, it's a very interesting situation because contract-wise, MMA, Nate Diaz himself has such a cult following, man. People love this guy worldwide. His personality, people just resonate with it. People have so much love for him. Whatever he does, man, people cling to it like a MF. Basically, the dude smiles, he's making people cry just when he smiles. You know what I mean? That's how much people love the guy. And the thing is that he has been taken advantage his whole career, basically, by the UFC. They've made so much money off this guy with his image. Not only that, they never fully took advantage of making him the superstar that he could have been. And even when UFC 209 appeared, everybody and their mama was talking about, hey, why don't they just let the brothers headline? Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz. Everybody was like, what a missed opportunity. It's like they knew how to market the white dudes like Conor and Ronda Rousey, but they never quite took full advantage of the Latino market. Yep. They could have blew these guys up like superstars. Also, Cain Velasquez had the same type of thing. They got a lot of fans. So it's an interesting situation because the guy just got fed up. I guess he wanted to make a little more money. He knows that his potential skyrocketed. I know we've mentioned this with Ryan Garcia. So these guys recognize that they're not making enough money. So, the UFC did not want to let him go. He wanted to get out of his contract and do whatever. Maybe he wants to go to WWE or something like that, and make some extra money over there. But the UFC did not want to let the guy go. They did not want to give him a chance to earn outside of that. And so the guy got fed up and just said, hey, I don't want to resign. So what does the UFC do? They decide they're going to give him the toughest SOB out there. They basically wanted to cripple the guy on his way out so he can't make money anywhere else. And guess what happened? Karma hit them, and the guy didn't even make weight. The guy did not even make weight. So he was 8 pounds over, and it's like a dream scenario because he ended up getting even a way better fight for him. And now it's Mexican versus Mexican. And Ferguson even said, he goes, what a great fight on Hispanic Heritage Month, which we all know that it's September 17th coming up.
17th?
Which is, yeah. which is
Next week.
Mexican Independence Day. And what a dream fight. But, that's basically what I know on this situation itself.
Yeah, it's you hear it all the time if you're a hardcore MMA fan, or you're boxing fans like ourselves. I mean, you hear it. You hear, oh, Dana White is screwing these guys over. I think I just heard recently he said, well, if they don't like it, they can go somewhere else. Kind of like somebody that doesn't really care. He's still going to make his money no matter what. I know a lot of the guys out there talking shit that he's actually giving money to the Nauk boys. The Nauk boys have nothing to do with MMA. But hearing you say this, and actually before you just said it, I just thought about it. I'm like, man, you know what a way, like you said, for Diaz to go out, right? It almost feels like maybe these guys knew, like, he's like the people's champ, like he's kind of like the Gabriel Saldo of boxing, right? Even though he has many losses, like people still resonate with him because he never turned down any fight. He's always in a fan friendly fight where both guys are bloodied. Maybe he loses. Sometimes he gets a good win here or there, but he fucking puts it out on the line right there. So he becomes a people's champ, and that's what people think of the Diaz brothers, Nate and Nick. Like, people love these guys, and unfortunate same thing with like Cain Velasquez. He's another Mexican, great, I think, first heavyweight in MMA or UFC to become a champion. So yeah, you said the Conor McGregor, the Ronda Rousey, like you would love to see like the Mexican people get put out there. I mean, yes, there is some Mexican fighters. You got Brandon Moreno, and then you got another Mexican tonight that's fighting in the main card, Daniel Rodriguez. He's another one of those guys that's up and coming that people can cling to. He's your typical dude. He looks like some of us. Bald head, tattoos. Fights anybody and everybody, no matter who it is. But thinking on it now, man, like, even with Nate Diaz being like fan friendly, people love this guy. People, love him or hate him. It almost feels like maybe this was done on purpose, right? Like, it's his last fight. The other guy he's supposed to be doing the main event with maybe thought something about, hey, you know what? What if I mess up and not come on weight? Because I mean, there was really no like beef that you usually see with Diaz. I mean, there was your typical shit talking. Nate Diaz is talking shit. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he said, you know what? Let this be a way better card. Um, then you get Ferguson and myself. I mean, it's a good card, man. I know Ferguson and Diaz really haven't been doing too good their last four fights. I think Ferguson actually has lost maybe his last four fights, and they've all been, of course, in the top. Um, Michael Chandler, he fought Dariush, he fought Oliveira, Justin, and then Gaethje. Um, those were the last couple guys he fought. Same thing with Ferg with Diaz. He hasn't really won many of his fights, but here he is going out on his last one. He's actually starting his own thing. I don't know if it's MMA or boxing. It's called Real Fight. Did you see that? No problem.
Yeah, I kind of heard about that. I don't know how far it's going. Maybe he's just saying that he's going to start it. But, as far as it being in motion to start, I don't know, but I have heard about that.
Yeah, and that's cool. And I'm pretty sure he'll get a big following. People love the Diaz's, man.
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of chime in on that Ferguson situation. It's very sad to, see somebody doing so good. He was like on a big fight winning streak, and the dude, he was so good that they wanted him to fight Khabib, but they never could get that fight to happen because either one guy got hurt, the other guy was getting hurt, or one guy, Khabib was overweight like twice. I mean, there was always an excuse, and the fight had gotten signed a couple times, but for some
Yeah.
reason, it's just like we never got that fight. But overnight, Ferguson just got old. You know what I mean? And he was just, when he started losing, it was just like, what's the, there was no more reason anymore to put him in with Khabib because, I mean, he would have just gotten, he probably would have gotten washed, at that point.
Yeah,
But when he was
exactly.
on his upward scale of doing super good, that was the fight to make, man. But like I said, sometimes fighters get old overnight, and it's a sad thing to see.
Yeah, I mean, his name El Cucuy, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
really was living that. Like, I mean, he was kind of like your typical Mexican, Nate Diaz. Like, you had to fucking beat this dude with a aluminum bat to like really hurt him. Like, he just comes forward, grinds. I know one of the fights why they didn't get made. I think like ended up hurting his leg. Like you said, either one or the other was getting hurt.
Yeah,
I think
I can
literally
see
like
that.
the day before, or I don't remember what it was like the week of the fight. Oh, they're
Yeah,
kicking wood bats in half and shit. And
yeah. I don't know. The rumor was that he was like wearing sunglasses indoors somewhere, and that I don't know, he hurt his leg somehow
hmm,
because he likes
hey,
to wear sunglasses a lot, Ferguson.
yep.
But I mean, it's funny, huh, how you say that because them kickboxing dudes or whatever, or those dudes that know Thai boxing, they're known to kick trees. But how ironic that he has to hurt his leg that way, you know? Like,
And he's been that shit all the time too. If he's over there doing it,
yeah, like you're known to like break trees in half or bats in half with your legs, but then you twist your ankle on slip in the kitchen or something and twist your ankle. Like, damn,
yeah,
bro.
fucking guy, Zab Judah, right? Slip was it Zab Judah or Shane Mosley? They were,
Oh, who
I
slipped?
think they were supposed to actually fight each other. Somebody slipped in the shower and fucked himself up. I don't remember who it was.
See, that's crazy, huh? What an
Ah, damn.
injury,
Yeah, what an
man.
injury. Are you gonna actually watch that fight tonight? Are you gonna watch that card at all, Nopal? Or actually, like I know we talk on Chile, and we kind of like we're in a group chat, and sometimes we mention MMA, but like, do you watch MMA at all?
I do the big fights, or like when there's no boxing at all, and
Like
I'm
tonight?
home. Of course, I'm not gonna miss it, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
cool,
I know
man. Like,
there's a lot of people wondering, well, how easy access do you have to these fights? But it's just like whatever. If I want to see a fight, I watch it.
yeah, it's not a pay-per-view tonight, so I actually was looking it up
No,
a
it
little
is,
while ago.
isn't it? It's not a
No,
pay per
no,
view. Are
no.
you
I'm looking at it
serious?
right now, right on the UFC thing. It's a ESPN Plus.
No way.
Yeah, so more of a
Oh
reason to
man.
watch that shit, dude. Yeah, the card is
Yeah.
good, bro. Like I said, you have your Nate Diaz, your Ferguson, and then Cosma that's supposed to fight in the main card. He's fighting Holland. And then that one dude, Daniel Rodriguez, like I said, against Jin Lang. He's the one that actually fought the Cosma recently. So it's going to be a
No.
pretty good card, man. I mean, I
So
know
he's
right
gonna end
now.
up fighting the guy that he fought in the. Supposedly they got into it in the back before the press conference, huh? With
Yeah,
that other dude, huh?
Kevin Holland, yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's.
yeah, and all they did was just switch. That's what's crazy. How did that fucking turn out that way? What are
I
the fucking
know that.
odds?
I didn't even think that it was no coincidence or nothing. I just thought it was karma biting the dude, but you
Hey,
know,
yeah, for sure. I'm gonna call it karma.
but
You're calling that
but it
shit
looks
karma.
just like a coincidence, huh? It looks like it was made by design like that. Like, forget about it, man. Just, you know, fight the guy, huh?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
even when he went to the weigh-in, he's like, "Oh, that's not that much," you know. He's all chuckling, and then you look in the comment section, and people are all pissed off. They're like, "Forget this guy." I used to be a fan of him, that Chimaev guy. They go, "I
Yeah,
was such a
Chimaev.
fan of him," but and you see that the whole fan base is pissed off at him for messing up that fight. I don't know, man, how to call it.
Yeah,
Never know these days, huh?
yeah, you don't know, man, with these guys. I mean, and he's a pretty good fighter. I like him. Like I said, like for me, I mean, it's mine and Julian's fucking title, like boxing MMA. Like when we first came out, like
Yeah,
we did both, but it's like, dude, it's a lot of fucking homework. Like it takes up a lot of, your little bit of free time, especially if you got a family. Like he has his kids and I have my kids and family stuff. So you're trying to split it or trying to be fair. And I usually, like, look, I just need an hour. But when you got boxing MMA that you're scoring on, it's hard. So usually I try not to get too detailed. Like you said, the main event, like I usually kind of do with the main stuff, at least with the things that people know. Like I still follow it pretty hardcore. So,
yeah, it's kind of
definitely
tough too,
tonight's
man,
fights.
because they wrestle on the ground a lot, and so when like, really, I'll be honest, man, my lady does not like MMA at all. She despises it. So when they start wrestling on the ground like that, it's like I look at her and she looks at me and she really wants me to change it. But when it's the main event, I ain't gonna change it, man.
She's questioning you, huh? She's like, what are some
They're
fetishes you
like,
got going on, man?
yeah, she's like, why are you all into that? Nah. Anyways, I don't like. You remember when what's his name? Bob Aaron was like, they be rolling around on the floor, huh? Was he saying they were homosexuals or
Yeah, he
something?
was saying something fucking, yeah, he almost got
Oh,
himself
he
canceled.
called them Nazis, huh? White supremacists.
Yeah.
Homosexuals who like to roll around on the ground.
When you're
That was funny.
93, when you're 93, you can use words like that.
Oh man, I'm gonna start lying about my age, huh? No,
Oh shit. Hey,
there's a
right?
rumor going around. NOPAL is 75.
He's actually 75.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey man,
man.
I see that picture you got in the back, man.
Dude,
That's nice, bro.
I'm actually, like I said, we kind of did this spur of the moment thing. We kind of planned it within an hour. I'm over here actually. My brother's doing the burgers and bratwurst and hot links, and he's the same thing. He's like me, bro. We're boxing fans. Like, boxing's in the family. Our younger brother, our baby brothers.
Oh,
Shout
you're
out
at your brother's
Santiago.
house?
Yeah, we're at my brother's, and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
I need your barber room / gym room. So he's got some posters. Like, he's got the Canelo one right here, and then over here to my right, it's a Mike Tyson watch. Let me see if I can try to scoot it that way. There's a Mike Tyson one.
oh shoot, those are some iconic punches, huh?
Oh, bro. And then he has and then he has a Cotto and Mayweather. Let's see if I can kind of zoom into the back real quick. Yeah, he's got the Cotto Mayweather. You probably can't really see it too much.
Was it when he pulled back counter?
Yeah, the pullback counter shit. Yeah, that's what
Oh,
my brother did.
that's crazy
Yeah,
because
no,
Canelo
it's
didn't really get too much credit during the fight for that punch right there.
yeah.
They just ignored that punch. They were like, and it was like the best punch of the fight.
Yeah, do you have the zone?
Yeah, I do.
Did you watch those episodes with Canelo? There was
Yeah, I think so. Is there like three of them? I
yeah, there's
must have
three of them.
missed the last one.
Yeah, they were pretty good, man, and they got into that too, like a little more in the depth with the Mayweather, and he said he was young, he came in thinking he could knock him out. I think we all believe if he was to be able to get that fight back, it'd be a totally different fight.
Yeah, I think
He was
he
young.
mentioned. I think he mentioned. It's a whole different story now. If I can't get it to his face, I would have just tore off his shoulders. I would have
Yeah,
just beat him to the body like mercilessly.
yeah, and I've always said that, like watching all these guys fighting him, and I'm like, man, like the simplest thing is the body don't move, like. Even if he blocks, like hit those elbows or shoulders. You're gonna get countered, but time your shots. Feint. Jab to the body because I think he gets in everybody's head. Like I think that's where they figured out. Like he's really playing those mind games and fucking with people and getting them angry. Canelo. I don't care what anybody says. We all believe he got Canelo ripe. You know what I mean? He was still a little green, and he figured, you know what? He's got a big Mexican fan base, and what do? I fight on May or September. Like so, Mayweather just took advantage of it, from our benefits and shit.
Yeah, I
But I've
mean,
always said that.
yeah, I mean the fan base, the detractors like to play that role. They like to say, "Hey, man, Canelo hasn't changed," but you got to be like basically blind to not be able to see the difference between the Mayweather fight all the way up to the Triple G fight. All the whole transition of skills and all that. Like it was overnight, and the thing is, we're not used to seeing professional fighters go through that sort of transition where they just improve their skills that much. The reason for that
Absolutely.
is because a lot of these guys come from the amateurs, so their styles are already set. They don't really learn nothing new. They just learn how to adapt it to the pros. So with
Yep.
this,
Exactly.
Canelo, he's always been in the pros, but he did not have like an amateur career. So it's a lot different. So
Yeah.
we
Very
don't really
true.
see that transition in skills.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. They mentioned it in that the zone series. There is like he gives props to Mayweather, and like, he knows that's what he learned from it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen it, and you don't really see it that often where guys learn from their mistake. It's kind of like they go in there, they either change their trainer, thinking that changing the trainer is going to help. You might learn some new things, but like he pretty much changed the style. He just not changed it, but he adapted to it and perfected it. And you see it, man. It's all there. And the last couple fights that he had, from Caleb Plant, you see the pull right counter there, executing it really well. You know, patience, and like I think that was the big one. I think the patience and learning how to adjust the counters and actually being a counter fighter.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that he's really privileged, right? But and it is true, not a lot of fighters are afforded this privilege to be like on a learning curve. You know what I mean? But also at the same time, it has nothing to do with color because there's other boxers that are afforded this privilege. Like, I'll give you an example. What's that Puerto Rican dude that everybody thought he was like such a badass? Now all of a sudden everybody's like, um,
Is he the one that got
everybody's not.
arrested?
No,
Oh,
what's that?
Berlanga, Edgar
Berlanga. See,
Berlanga.
if you ask me, he's gotten more privilege than Canelo. Like, he's been afforded the chance to learn on the job like an MF. The only thing is he does not have the same dedication that Canelo did. So
Mm-mm.
that's what I could say about that. Like, if you think that Canelo had privilege, nothing close to the privilege that Berlanga has had, you
No,
know?
not at all. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that, man. He just, and you know, that's an example of too. There, speaking of being able to learn from your mistakes or improve. Like Berlanga, I feel like he's had 3 fights to improve. Right? I mean, it was the one where he got knocked down, and then the next two, like nothing's changed. Like it's still kind of the same shit that you're seeing from him. He's
Yeah.
and then he, if anything, to me, I feel like he looks a little more scared now to exchange or to engage in the fight. Like he's
And he
looking to,
shouldn't be, you know what I mean? If he put a little bit more time into his boxing, if
yep,
he wasn't so distracted with his media life and all that, his whatever he does after
yeah, his
boxing,
lean back with Fat
yeah.
Joe. Yeah, lean back with Fat Joe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he wasn't so distracted with that, I mean, imagine what a guy like that could do, bro. With all that privilege that the dude's been afforded. Look at even Tank Davis, bro. He's been afforded a lot of privilege right there.
Oh man,
Probably, probably more than Canelo because remember, Canelo stepped up to fight guys like even like Trout, who was
Trout,
he was coming
undefeated.
off of that. Yeah, he was coming off of beating Miguel Cotto, absolute
Exactly.
legend, like 2 or 3 years before Canelo beat him, like fresher version, you know. So Canelo started off a little early, and you can't always say if you really look at his fights, you can't say that he's been as privileged as guys like Tank Davis, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing people need to do is like they invest in so much trying to speak negative. Like, you know what? Look at some good shit. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some good stuff that you're going to see in there. Like you said, he wasn't privileged. I mean, he went from like fighting like Trout. You know, he fought Lara. I mean, come on, those were like at the time like Trout had the recognition because of the Cotto, but then you seen like Canelo go in there and adjust, and he made adjustments, and that was good to see. But yeah, that's what you want to see from these guys, man. And I believe like what you just said, like he's not privileged. I think if anything of the last 10 years, I would say Tank Davis is probably the most privileged guy of all. I mean, just
Yeah,
look at his
and
main. Just look at the people he's fighting main events with, and their pay per view.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, when you compare it to other boxers, he's not really privileged. You know, he's sure. I mean, when you compare it to the normal Joe Blow, who like maybe like a Marquez, who well, I wouldn't call him a normal Joe Blow, but I'm just saying that guy was put through the ringer. Like he wasn't afforded any type of. And in reality, it's not really Canelo's fault, you know, that Marquez's career was so hard. But in the
Yeah.
but in reality, too, you got to ask yourself: had they given it easy to Marquez, would he have accomplished so hard? Because a lot of people need that chip on their shoulder. You know what I mean? To
Yeah, you need
succeed.
it.
Yeah, a lot of people need that chip on their shoulder so they can sit there and complain and say, "Hey, this guy's been privileged," but in reality, who's to say that if they would have gave you that same privilege, you would have been able to know what to do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, take advantage of even if it's from the most privileged to hey, we're giving you this opportunity. Like you got to take advantage of that shit because you never know. Like any opportunity they give you could be your last one. Like all it takes is, you know, I mean, okay, let's just speak of the fights that happened this last weekend, right? You had Rayo Valenzuela, a 1 day replacement. Big buzz behind him, right? He's a Benavides fighter. I've seen a couple of his fights. Major potential. Gets a guy that's a 1 day replacement and gets beat. I mean, who's to say those opportunities would be your last one? But yeah, he's young enough. I feel like he could still improve. Maybe take it back a couple notches with your opponents. But he's got promise. I definitely think that he's got a lot of promise. Did you watch any of those fights last weekend?
To be honest, I wasn't able to. I saw the highlights.
The highlights.
Yeah, I was at the beach. To be honest, it was so hot over here, man. It was like 115 degrees. So I had to get out to the coast over here by Santa Cruz, and it was 85 degrees over there, so we was out
Oh
there.
man, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got family like down in like San Diego, like
Oh,
close to the
okay.
border, like
Beautiful.
Chula Vista National City. And my mom was talking to my aunt. I guess they had like hurricane warnings, and they were putting up bags, I guess, in the areas that would be most affected. And even over here, I feel like anytime there's been like a hurricane or whatever, like some kind of storm, like in that Baja area, like Tucson, where I'm at, like we get affected by some of those clouds and stuff. So we felt it today. We felt some humidity because that rain is coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you definitely gonna be watching tonight's fights, right? Like, I mean, um, you said you watched the major ones. There's just a couple good guys on there. I would say probably like the whole card is actually pretty good. The main one. Like, do you have any predictions on maybe the Ortiz? I mean, on the Ferguson and Nate Diaz?
Not really, man. To be honest, I just would like. It's funny you say that, man. Given that it's a Mexican Independence Month or whatever, and these guys are old and they're OGs. I just want to see a good fight, but at the same time, I don't want to see either one take too much damage. I'd be happy if it was a draw, to be honest.
Yeah,
Call me biased for my
that's
people, but I would love this to just be a good fight, but a draw,
yeah,
or a
absolutely.
close decision. They
Yeah,
could both go out with their dignity, you know what I mean?
some
Sail off to the
faculties.
sunset. Yeah,
Yeah,
sail off into the sunset, man.
man. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I've been a big favorite of both guys. Nate Diaz and Ferguson, and especially that time when Ferguson was supposed to be getting these fights, man. Like I was high on him. Actually, the only guy to give that I thought would have given Khabib some trouble. But over in one fight, he aged. And I think just his style in general, like he's a good grappler. Like he's like really awkward. He's long. I felt like that would have given some Khabib some problems. Maybe he wouldn't have beat him, but definitely would have had a really close fight. Same thing with Diaz. He's fought on, the two fights of McGregor. McGregor gave him his shout outs like, hey, congratulations on a great career in the UFC. They mixed it up, and he said, hey, you know what, maybe we can get that third fight, and maybe it won't be UFC, but he's had great fights, and they've all been memorable. For me, the same way, like Diaz, we know he's already punch drunk, so if he can come away a little bit more okay and fine, I think I want to lean with Diaz in this one just a little bit, just because I feel like Diaz, yeah, he's like a zombie. You can't kill him, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you can't kill the guy, but he still comes forward. And as the fight goes on, like to the later rounds, he becomes dangerous. And I think that's probably for me would be the factor between the two, would be slightly favoring Diaz, but hopefully these two guys come away fucking terrific and great, man.
yeah, yeah. Should be a fun night, man. Of that, and that Chimaev dude's on the undercard, huh? He's like
Yeah, the
the
co-main.
other co-main event.
Mm-hmm. And he's fighting the guy he's beefing with, so the guy he's supposed to be
uh,
fighting. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
chill, trip out though. Diaz said he slapped him in the. He was saying he slapped him in backstage, and
Who
he
these?
just like yeah, he
Oh,
said just like he slapped Khabib.
oh, hey,
But
I
I don't
believe
know.
that guy. I believe that guy.
I heard he had like 50 dudes, with him. Because the other
Oh,
guy said he was coming through deep with like 20 guys. And so they're saying that Diaz rolls up with like 50 dudes. So they were back there intimidating dudes, man.
hey, fucking Diaz for you. Like he says, he comes off the gangster. Everybody knows it,
That's what Canelo should do, huh? He should just hire the Diaz bros and all their homies to
bro.
punk all his opponents backstage.
That would be fucking no lie. That would be pretty fucking. That'd be fucking dope. I'd be
It
like,
would
holy
be dope,
shit.
huh?
Yeah,
Because I know Canelo shots out them dudes, and them dudes be shotting him out too. You know what I mean? So
it's
that's what
mutual.
Canelo should do, man. He needs a good security team. Remember when Mayweather did that to Conor? Fucking straight punked him with like 20 dudes on stage.
Yeah,
That back and forth. That was
that
some
shit was
funny shit,
funny.
though.
That was some
Yeah,
funny shit. That was some really funny shit. I definitely remember that first. And then, like by the third one, it was like, all right, we get it. I think the first
Yeah.
two are the best ones. The
Yeah.
press
They had
conferences.
hella people watching, bro. If you look in the comment section, the live, dude, they had hella people just watching that.
And that shit was on regular ESPN. It wasn't like pay-per-view. Like these guys they were talking some shit and there was no editing. Like nothing was blocked out. It was all there.
Yeah. I got to make sure, man, that thing's on ESPN Plus, because if it is, that thing's going to be lit.
Look it.
Got to take advantage of your subscription, man.
There it is, main card.
Are you sure it's not going to say buy? Because
Nope.
it's always on ESPN Plus, and then it tells you to buy it. Damn.
Yeah, it's ESPN Plus. I thought at first it was actually a pay-per-view. Maybe that a one in pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. I think you might be right. Wait. Nope, never mind. I take that back. It is pay-per-view.
No. You're still going to watch it?
Oh, I'm going to still watch it, yeah. I got, like I said, we're over here at my brother's house, and everybody just zells whoever's going to fucking purchase it.
Oh, I got the other way of getting it.
Yeah, hey. Sometimes I got to do it too.
I mean, I'm paying too, but
Yeah, I'm paying for my device.
I'm still paying. I'm still paying somebody, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. So, unless you have any last words, man, I mean, it's, hey, Chicano real quick. Of course, what's up, my brother?
Orale, Chicano.
What do you say? Fire stick for me. I know about the fire stick. Yeah, that'd be. I'm sure that'd be some people, but yeah. You have any last things, man? You want to say? I mean, we just wanted to jump on and just kind of speak about the situation here.
Nah, bro. It's good talking out of nowhere, and like shooting from the hip, bro.
Shooting from the hip, exactly. Yeah. And we got our show next week too. On Tuesday with Chicano. Should be a good one. It's fight week, right? Fight week of the Canelo Triple G trilogy. We were expecting to have a good weekend too as well with the women boxing, and I was really looking forward to that. I don't know if you follow that too much, but I mean, they actually sold it really well. Like there's true beef between both these women. I mean, between both fights.
Damn, Queen had to go and die, huh? On the day.
God. Did the Simpsons have that shit? Did the Simpsons fucking predict that shit too?
Probably, huh?
Motherfuckers, yeah.
The girls were probably like, damn, now I gotta wait.
Yeah, we gotta wait till next month, October 15th.
Shout out to the Queen.
Yeah, R.I.P. Queen. I did my 10 bell already. I'm not gonna do it on camera. But yeah, hey, Nopal, again, thanks for coming on, man. Like, like I said, we're in this little group chat, and spur of the moment, our brother Chicano couldn't be there. He's working. Shout outs to you, and shout out to everybody that's come along and here with us. But hey, man, we got our show Tuesday. I'm excited for it, and shit, we'll be seeing you Tuesday, brother.
All right, thanks for the invite, bro.
Signing.
Everybody have a blessed day.
Have a good weekend.